So a good chunk of people have continuously asked why dragon-type Pokemon are weak to fairies since the introduction of the fairy type. And I am working on that. I'm researching the correlations, the legends, the myths, and connecting the dots. At first, I thought it was going to be something horrifying, like a group of fairies came together and ate a dragon alive or something. But alas, no such luck yet. However, what I did find might surprise you, and since it's pretty close to Halloween, it's going to be keeping with the horror-themed theories going on. So stay subscribed for more creeptastic theories from this month. And make sure to sign in so you can comment down below and like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Now, what even is a fairy? You know, fairies have always been odd to me. Growing up in the 90s, the only people that liked fairies were mostly women or strange men.
But Proto, that's mean you shouldn't judge people based on what they like.
And right you are, comment section. In the 90s, the culture was shifting from you must like this and that to a more accepting or possibly non-caring one, actually. Where today, grown men can love a children's TV show based on ponies. I mean, really, look at me. I love Pokemon, Digimon, and all things gaming, and I'm a war veteran, so there you go, perfect example. You might say, well, why bring this up then, if it's just going to offend some people? And the truth is, it's actually a segue into my theory. See, most people view fairies on a sort of a default level. They are not mainstream enough to be like what happened with vampires in Twilight, so most people only know them from stories. Despite what you might know about fairies, Tinkerbell's origins might be darker than what you are presented with. Oh, but that's Disney, and I used a Tinkerbell picture. Oh no, I'm going to get copyright! That is a joke at those who think there is no way to use art in any way that is parodied in a sense. So, yeah, let's continue on. On a serious note, many of you out there might know fairies from Pokemon, Disney, and Zelda. Most notably,
Hey, listen!
over there, yeah. However, Pokemon fairies are not what they seem, and if you think fairies are nothing but cute Pokemon, you might be wrong. So, with all my research as of now, fairies have no go-to origin story. Most of their stories are based on a religious sense. Some are fairly interesting, depicting fairies as being fallen angels, spirits, and possibly memories. But all of the stories and legends seem to point to one common point. Fairies at some point in time are demonic in nature. The word itself basically means enchantment or magic, and as our history has shown, prehistory humans have a problem with magic and labeled it as demonic. To be fair, some crazy stuff has happened in the past under the guise of magic, but to say the least, fairies are rooted in a form of demonic magic akin to Satan. I know this may seem like a bit much, but let me share a few legends with you. One Christian belief held that fairies were a class of demoted angels. One popular story described how, when the angels revolted, God ordered the gates of heaven shut. Those still in heaven remained angels, and those in hell became demons. And another one. Another theory is that fairies were originally worshipped as minor goddesses, such as nymphs or tree spirits. Yet another belief was that fairies were demons entirely. And finally, one last one, referencing spirits of the dead. One popular belief was that they were the dead. This noted that many common points of belief, such as the same legends being told of ghosts and fairies, the Sidae, in actuality being burial mounds, it being dangerous to eat food both in fairylands and Hades, and both the dead and fairies living underground. There is observations of equating of fairies with the untimely dead who have left unfinished lives. One tale recounted a man caught by the fairies who found that whenever he looked steadily at one of them, the fairy was a dead neighbor of his. Interesting that Pokemon like Jigglypuff and Clefairy would be demonic spirits or demoted demigods. But that doesn't really make sense when applied to them. Those Pokemon just seem more like aliens, which they are, and that's confirmed to be true. No, I think we need to look at the other fairies to see if this correlation is correct. Let's start with Gardevoir and Mr. Mime, Psychic-type Pokemon that uses both fairy attacks and psychic powers. Similar to what people thought about psychics through history, magic users. People would often call them witches and warlocks, shaman, and seers. Being a fairy type, Gardevoir and Mr. Mime sure do match up with those who use magic enchantment in the description as well. Does that make Gardevoir a demonic spirit though? Well, that's a far cry from its behavior, but it does certainly match up with a few of its traits. Let's look at another fairy, Mawile. Yep, considering my last video about Mawile being based off the futakuchi-onna, or a demon woman with two mouths, yeah, case closed. Fairy types are demonic spirits from the dead. That'd be the case if this was the only Pokemon we looked at. So now we have a magical Pokemon, and without a doubt, a demonic spirit Pokemon. But what about fallen angels? Well, I would say that Xerneas and Yveltal, the relationship between them would be a good parable between God and Satan. And I know they are based off of other legends and lore, but the correlation could still be made. But what about the dead spirits and ghosts of people? No fairy Pokemon matches up with that description, right? Well, not exactly. Enter Klefki, a steel fairy type Pokemon. One would instantly say something like,
But Proto, it's not a ghost or dark type. It can't be a spirit.
and while that sounds good, we already have a steel fairy type that's pretty dark in origin. Don't you ever wonder how or what Klefki is, besides an extremely oddly designed Pokemon? I have little doubt that Klefki could possibly be just a keychain possessed by a spirit that collected things in light. The possibility is there. So are fairy types really magicians like Gardevoir and Mr. Mime? Demons like Mawile? And spirits like Klefki? Well, there sure is plenty of evidence to say both yes and no. So it's really up to you to decide. But no matter what, next time you see those cute cuddly fairy types, you might think twice about what exactly they are, or how a set of keys is actually alive. Thanks for watching, and please make sure to like and share this with others. And I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. As always, good gaming, and God bless. Thanks for watching my video and making it to the end. If you want to see my theories a day early, make sure to head over to my Patreon, where donators get a day early viewing of my newest theories. And follow me over on Twitter to see my updates about certain videos and access to some cool unlisted hidden content as well. If you don't have Twitter, I am on Tumblr too, so be sure to check out my videos on your preferred social networks or subscribe here on good old YouTube. I've been on YouTube for a while now, and I don't plan on going anywhere soon, so I hope you keep supporting me by liking the video and sharing it where you can on Facebook or Twitter or other forums as well. Thank you again for taking a bit of time out to support me, and I hope to see you here next time on Pokemon Theory. Please note that in all my videos, if I use images from Google, that I do not own any of those images, and all images obtained from Google are owned by their respective owners and copyrights. So please remember this when watching my Pokemon theories. Thanks.